Son and Holy Spirit, we'll remember first SVD missionaries in PNG 125 years ago.
Go in peace and enjoy.
Madang, the most central province in the current Momase region, is the birthplace of one of Catholic Church's pioneer missionary work in Papua New Guinea. It was part of the Greater Kaiser Wilhelmsen, the northern tip of PNG, once labeled by the early German colonizers. It was here that the missionaries of the Divine Word, or the Societas Verbi Divini, or SVD founder Father Arnold Johnson, a diocesan priest, would send his first missionary to PNG in 1896. The first group of 6 missionaries, 3 priests and 3 brothers, arrived at Alexisafen on the outskirts of a newly built and administered Madang town. All that transpired after the arrival of those pioneer SVD missionaries are now history. This year, 2021, marks exactly 125 years. Therefore, SVD missionaries from across Papua New Guinea and the laity all gathered in Madang to celebrate. The history of the SVD missionaries in PNG is rich, and the fruit of their dreams 100 years ago is evident today. Unfortunately, not many in the current generation know and acknowledge the efforts of these great men and women that brought the light to their great-grandfathers, whose lives were dictated by their unique cultures. It was this Catholic religious group that pioneered and eventually transformed PNG's education sector and instilled hope for a better future and a reverence for God, the essence of Christianity. Here are general perceptions shared during the anniversary commemorations in Madang, August in 2021.
All number one line been come, only been making big work, only been making big sacrifice. So everything him talk thank you Lord God long all been come, all need I finish, all number one line been come. But there's a mission stop life in up today. Now long there's 25 years he come, there's a lot thinking long walk long strong in mission in Oceanis. World and Oceanis or kind something Oceanis here, that's all. There's a mission and stop strong, now stop come up in up today.
If Lord Kanam Mabanop, you last place. Now missionary can place today, and one day you must through. Yes, why more say only put him Tesla talk long God, see the God side now and must grow. Now if no line must place for you, give him on pinning blake long God. All must come up plan the SVD, all missionary, all must come up plan the old sister SSPS plus a lot of religious. Also me long here, long as plus for me long Alexis happen. Me I was long you flow on Mr. SVD. You come now, you may stop long fight. You may stop long cross. You will bring him justice, peace, long place for me. Or sometimes you will stop life. Now she is a talk long go through him long well must behind him. Or to Muna Papa blow you will stop no through. Now me talk thank you this 125 years and minimum through long life from me all people from me must believe from me must strong. Catholic belief from me must hold him through. Now you must talk through long out good news through long life from me part long evangelization.
They go to Australia or
Germany, Holland, Philippines. Also, I'm blessed me around now. I'm also talk. You SVD na Mr. Beckham na talk. Me pignani blong SVD. Longest day, me look long all SVD come on this place. I start a work mission, 125 Christmas go finish now. This work long out him talk long God. And me start long here. Now we go long Highlands. Highlands he gives him talk long God. All SVD missionaries, one time all missionaries, all local missionaries belong Madang, all catechists, all mission friends. All he walk about one time ago, now out him talk, he gone tap all Sam, and when this 125 Christmas. SVD, he can make him walk, long out him talk long God, now helping me one time all sacrament. Long help him by me play can finding heaven. That's all he look him. He got need long you me long straighten body to start. All same now all he come up in all health services, education. Now presence long all most remote places. All transport system is off start. Now all man who said he need him help him. Also kiss him help him.
All brothers and sisters, today he marking 125 Christmas time he becomes one. Long this program only call him Kaiser William's Land. Now in Mama say. Me marking mass long all. One time big flower stock thank you long God one. Long gracia blessing me blessing. Today me sana blind blue blanc. One time talk thank you. Honor you long God one. Long big love work, all praise, brothers and sisters in making.
This celebration was massive as it involved both the religious order and the laity from Madang, Isipik, Chimbu and Anga. Over half of the 90 PNG-based SVD religious attended the celebrations, including Rome-based General Superior, Father Paulus Budi Clayton, and Cardinal John Ribat. As host, Provincial Superior Father Joseph Oratinkal is pleased with the input from both the SVD missionaries and the Catholic believers.
I feel very happy, first of all, privileged. Although it is a bit overwhelming and it is a bit tiring in some ways, but we are very happy that we all could come together in spite of a lot of uncertainties, as you know, because of this corona pandemic. Since more than a year, we have been wondering whether we will be able to host it the way we hosted it. So in that sense, I am very happy. We all of us are very happy that we could come together and celebrate this event.
In addition, the occasion provided just the right avenue for the SVD congregation to reflect on their past and plan for the future. At the height of European Christian missioning, PNG was always on Arnold Johnson's list of non-Christian nations, hence the involvement of the SVD hierarchy.
What brings me here to Madang, to Papua New Guinea, that is a celebration of the 125th anniversary of the arrival of our first missionaries here in this country. And why it is important for us? Yes, because Papua New Guinea was the second mission country here in Asia Pacific for us. The third country to where our missionaries were sent, countries which were at that time non-Christian countries. He sent the missionaries here in this country in 1896. So it's a very important step in the history of our congregation that our founder sent the missionaries to this country. And for his whole life, the mission here was very important for him. He really supported the mission here, Father Limbrock and all the sisters, brothers and priests working here in this country. As he wrote one of his letters to Father Limbrock, he and his council members did much more than what their duty asked of them to do. So because of his love to this mission here, because he was convinced that the presence of SVD in this country is meaningful, is important, and therefore he sent and he supported them.
But maintaining Arnold Johnson's legacy is somewhat challenging, especially in such trying times where the Catholic faith is put to test by many external factors. It is a mammoth task to address the steady decline in clergy figures. Father Paulus acknowledges that and gives an insight into how best the Catholic religious order is trying to fix that.
PNG was once one of the countries with the highest number of our missionaries, but now we count only about with 90 members assigned to this province. Present in the country are only about 80, because some are still waiting to come here and some are still outside of the country. So it's going down. The number is going down here in the country, and that is also reflected in the number of the members of in the whole congregation. So slowly but steadily we are decreasing in number. Once we were 6,150, something like that, but now we are around 6,000. So we are getting a bit less than before. But we are working in 81 countries. So therefore, every year when we have about 190, 100 or 110 young members who receive what we call first assignment, that means their assignment, they go after their profess the final vows or their ordination, 90 to 110, we have to send to 81 countries. So then, in average, a country receives one member.
To see Catholics from across Papua New Guinea unite in commemorating this special occasion is encouraging. The active involvement of SVD friends from Chimbu, Anga and their counterpart from Isipik indicates the strong influence of the pioneer SVD missionaries.
Especially me pala Enga, me pala enthusiastic long this pala celebration, belong 125 years. He come up long here, long Madang. All people belong Enga, plant the only organism all yet. Now they come long this pala celebration. Me part also how only appreciate him, work belong SVD long this pala diocese. Not to only mass long some pala work belong SVD or some start long before yet. Start long beginning until now I may continue it. Now all too I hope long SVD and we can continue long walk long this pala place. Also na mi pala also SVD long district belong mi pala long Wabek diocese. Mi pala too also struggle long making one of sometimes best or good pala long people belong mi pala. So Kala belong all also now we only show him long this time belong celebration long 125 years long here long Madang, and we can go yet, and we can continue yet, and we can support him spirit na believe belong all.
PNG Provincial Superior Father Joseph Oratinkal was excited about hosting his fellow SVD missionaries from outside Madang. For many, observing the 125 years Silver Jubilee in Madang is a memorable experience.
So I think I like to take this opportunity to thank each of you. We will not meet as an exclusive group, as SVDs alone, because dinner, everything will be mixed. So thanks for all the trouble that you have taken from coming all the way from Yanga and Mosby and Sepik. Sepik came this way. As I said in the beginning, to what extent you sacrificed, I believe to that extent you feel happy about it. And also you collaborated different ways, giving these answers to the questions, which I hope helped you in some way, or it will help us, our province, in the long run. So thank you to each one of you for your contribution, whatever may be, whatever way you have done.
This is how it all started. It was at Alexisafen that the word of God and the Catholic faith would spread into the highlands of Papua New Guinea. Internationality, an integral aspect of the SVD mission, is very much maintained. Fathers Carlos Alcaraz and Vincent Agbayome Akpa are examples of that aspect of SVD's mission.
For any people, for anywhere on the world, internationality. Internationality is very much enriching. You learn a lot. It helps you to see different, to have different view of the world and the people. The Lord has created us and put us on the earth, but we are all different, unique. But doesn't mean, it's not impossible that we cannot work together and live in peace together in harmony. It's possible. It's always possible. So I will go for something is more hard work, more challenging, but something also more enriching. It pays off. You may see that after many years of being, and you see that, and you made a comparison, you see it. I would say that being just in the congregation more than 30 years, more than half time of my life, I made the right decision.
My name is Vincent Agbayome Akpa. Originally from Ghana, western part of Africa. But here in Papua New Guinea, I say I come from Bougainville, specifically in Buin. So inside Papua New Guinea, I claim I come from Buin in Bougainville, but outside from Ghana. Yeah. So, and I've been here, this is my 5th year in Papua New Guinea. Yeah. Previously, I was working in Joaka and then Western Highlands, but this year I've been transferred to Madang. So currently I'm in Madang, in the Divine Word University, working as a chaplain there. We often say, no matter where you come from, once you're a black man, you're an African. So I see this is, once you're black, I see you as my brother, I see you as my African brother, let me put it there. So going back, all I can say is, yeah, we have other brothers and sisters here. Yeah, so we are not the only ones on the continent in Africa, but we have brothers and sisters here. So we open our hearts to them. Yeah, we are on the Pacific, but we still have brothers and sisters here. Yeah.
The Holy Spirit sisters are equal partners in SVD's mission work. In fact, they were the first to come in big numbers to support the 6 priests and brothers. Even today, nothing can change this mutual understanding. The sisters speak highly of the continued efforts of the SVD missionaries in promoting holistic development in PNG, especially as it celebrates 125 years of existence.
Time yumi luglug igo back lo desla 125 year. Mi toko sem lo pasin lo yumi Papua New Guinea. Mani masigo pas. Na mas stratim road. Mas brukim bunara. Rausim het plus snake. Suppose pasim road. Na claim road before lo Miriam come through. Mito people thank you long SVD lo strating road lo tripla yar na kisi mi plakam na tami plaikam mi pla sinan good mi pla ino bungim bunara ino kisi mi pla tami oki no kisi mi pla so lo desla mito people thank you osem na mi pla 2 step 122 years one time all lo Papua New Guinea.
Thank you, Long God 3-1. Lord, this plus special day,
you be celebrating 125 years long walk mission long Divine Word Missionary. So walk mission on make him, only not make him nothing. He got kai blow walk blow on make him. So this flower kai blow walk blow on inside long one pla garden only make him big pla walk through long him. Now this pla garden him stop. Now this pla garden him gonna big pla. Me pla like talk. Thank you long God long all get a blessing na gracia na strong him been give him long all missionary only been come long country blow me pla long. Make him walk, no only been die, lo display. Walk missing, long all only go finish. Now you play all nara play stop yet, or less with this.
According to His Holiness Cardinal John Ribat, and as is the practice over hundreds of years, Catholic missionaries are sent throughout the world to evangelize, to teach, and to heal.
Long time, all missionaries have been come. Isa got triple aim long all. First, long inapim walk long mission. Out him talk long God, not through long all SVDs. Come spread him talk long God. So I'm number one. Number two, you got tupla have long this walk too. I'm look long education long all people, educating all people. Not too long health long all people. So there's a triple walk if isa go one time. Where all missionaries belong, you may belong before you been come and walk belong all you been stop or send.
Once settled, the SVD missionaries realized there was dire need for education and health services. Despite input from the German colonial administration, there is still need for education and health services provision. Hence, the SVD missionaries did not hesitate to set up relevant institutions that would eventually turn into nationally recognized high and skills training schools. After 125 years, PNG's Catholic Agency is no doubt the largest provider and administrator of schools apart from the national government. This is Divine Word University, arguably the fastest growing in Papua New Guinea. It is indeed administered by the Catholic SVD religious order, and it has a rich history, from a humble high school to an institution and eventually attaining full university charter in the late 90s. Today, Divine Word University has affiliated centers in Port Moresby, Rabaul, and Wewak. Such is a proof to the fact that SVD continues to be supportive of the education sector in PNG.
Mission is not only about the spiritual well-being, taking care of the spiritual well-being of the people, but mission is to be understood as promotion of human development in the whole, in all aspects of life. So therefore, these aspects of education, like education, healthcare, also promotion the human rights, to protect the human rights, to promote the rights of children, rights of women. All these are part of mission. So therefore, since the beginning, already our founder, St. Arnold Janssen, said, we cannot save the world only with sermons and liturgy. So we have to do more than that.
Today, the SVD missionaries are active in various parts of Papua New Guinea, evangelizing and identifying and assisting the government where necessary. From schools to health and women's issues, this pioneer Catholic religious order is optimistic about upholding the legacy left behind by their brothers, some of whom died in the name of Christianity. In an era of social digitalization and the reinforced win of freedom as portrayed by the general acceptance of lifestyles that were once considered taboo, it is sheer challenge to advocate for more young Papua New Guineans to become priests, brothers and nuns.
Surely that is a big concern to recruit young members, young people to join the congregation. And for that purpose, I always tell my conference, the members of the congregation, really to do more in what we call vocation promotion. So really to approach young people who have the interest to join the congregation, to be religious brothers, priests in our congregation, sisters for the SSPS to join. But surely a stage early we have to do, that is the pastoral with the families, how to accompany families, that already in the families the children are brought up in the Christian atmosphere and spirituality, and that they feel attracted to respond to this special call of the Lord to dedicate themselves to work for evangelization. Yes, so pastoral with the families is the basic, and then we move on to the education, and then to vocation promotion.
Both Moresby Archdiocese and Cardinal John Ribat, on behalf of the Vatican, expressed appreciation for the SVD missionaries and their impact on the Catholic faith and also other socio-economic developments in PNG.
Big pala bung below yumi, long talk thank you long God, long work belong all missionaries companies. SVD, it been started 125 years ago, only been come. So now me like to thank you long work below you pala long Kirapim Church here long national side long Mombasa region and along the highlands. Thank you long people work below you pala will be making. All people na ibung long here and i-walk belong you pala.
This iconic auditorium is the biggest in Madang, with a seating capacity of over 300. Situated right in the heart of the Divine Word University's Madang campus, the SVD Memorial Auditorium had hosted many events, both of national and international significance. It is not only in churches, but also education, where you find the influence of the SVD missionaries still resonating. The legacy left by the pioneer SVD missionaries live on, even though it has made room for adjustments. Divine Word University President Father Philip Gibbs attests to how the university has maintained the SVD core values and principles, having them translated in the university's charter. Indeed, there is a string of positive outcome of this mission. Apart from academic, there are also lifelong lessons learned from this unique institution. Even the so-called Pasin Diwai, a slang for friendship among Divine Word University scholars, which was developed more than a decade ago, is now accepted by the SVD missionaries. What a way to describe the friendship established by young Papua New Guineans that have left their homes to become responsible citizens in this SVD administered institution.
Student transformation occurs not just through academic programs, which are very important, but also extracurricular programs and activities. The value of learning for life is learning that is not just informative, but it's transformative. I think there's three important dimensions of that. What I call, what other people call Passion Diwai. I think most people here know what Diwai means, but for those who are not, Diwai is basically the name for this institution. Diwai. Passion Diwai is what Father Clayton was talking about last night in his homily. It's about brother and sister. It's about treating one another as brother and sister.
Challenges associated with the declining missionary figures are almost tenfold, and in PNG's case, specifically Anga, where geopolitical boundaries and tribal fights are current pressing issues, SVD missionaries like Father John Timo has to think and act outside the box. Through prayer, commitment, and support from fellow priests and the laity, he has to fulfill all responsibilities assigned to him individually. This is the core of missionary work in PNG.
Actually, in church in Enga, me, I'm a mass because of some bishop belong me pala, and me go pass long this pala work, long help him all line victims, long this pala kind issue. Na mi pala all get a pater, all get a time mi pala kisim tinting, kisim awareness, long how mi pala to take part long this pala work, bishop and me go pass long.
Catholic believers with a strong connection to the SVD missionaries can relate well on the occasion of the 125th Silver Jubilee anniversary. Even the laity are highly encouraged to actively participate in the Eucharistic activities in the missionary work and also on addressing other social issues.
Father Limbrock established the mission at Alexishafen. He had moved back to Madang from Aitape after the international shipping route for the supplies was changed and was not going to come past Aitape anymore. When Father Limbrock established the Alexishafen mission, the missionaries eventually came in contact with the Rampi tribe, which lived near the area around Alexishafen. So the people at Rampi, who were known and feared at the time as cannibals, would have been evangelized by the SVD and Holy Spirit missionaries. Among them would be my grandparents, who would have been baptized as Catholics. So I am in fact a third generation cradle Catholic. So we had a long association with the SVDs and the SSB as missionaries. Father William Ross was the first parish priest of Rampi in 1927, and he built the St. Boniface Church. What happened was he raised funds in US for the church, and the church was actually built by Brother Higgins.
Enga is one of the places in Papua New Guinea with a strong SVD presence. The mission work there was not in vain. Little did it know that despite being one of the last provinces in PNG to welcome Christianity, and for that matter the early SVD missionaries, it will rise to produce the first local SVD priest.
On behalf of the Diocese of Wabek, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your missionary work here in Papua New Guinea and especially in the Diocese of Wabek. And SVD missionaries are not only committed to proclaim the word, but also give social services like health and education and other services as well. PNG stands as one of the last place for the Divine Word missionaries to do mission work and evangelize the people. If this is true, then Wabek Diocese must be the last place for the Divine Word missionaries to set food and evangelize the people. And yet the last has produced the first SVD priest, namely Father Paul Khan, and Paella in Mungle Parish in Wabek Diocese is the last place to set food by the Divine Word missionaries, and it produced the priest for the Divine Word missionaries, namely Father Elias Ayoko, SVD. In October,
SVD come long 7, they walk on the river, and process 3 months on the river, and same time among SVD become a rebel. Now, not this plan. People that gift not present, now people that no river, some local priest now no river.
Nevertheless, the SVD missionaries are hopeful that they are here to stay and indeed expand on all fronts. At the end of the 125 years anniversary celebrations, SVD priests and brothers congregated to discuss the way forward, how they can be able to win more young people into their circle, who will then carry on the legacy started by the Saint Arnold Johnson more than a century ago.
By the strength of the
Despite the steady decline in SVD religious, it is hopeful to win more young men and women to accept the various religious calling. Just like its sister congregation, calling more shepherds is essential to its general mission. Seminarian Emmanuel Togubami is among the small number of young Papua New Guineans that have decided to join the SVD missionaries. God willing, Emmanuel will be the first SVD priest to come out from Milne Bay, especially from the infamous islands of Love, the Trobrians.
What really inspired me to join the religious congregation is I want to be serving people like not from same culture as mine, but from other cultures or backgrounds. That's why I joined the religious. SVD is an international congregation, so there's a possibility for me to be another country to save other people.
Looking at a much bigger picture, SVD's challenges in the 21st century no doubt reflects that of the Catholic Church as a whole. In fact, the Church had over centuries survived the many challenges. Thus, it is prepared to embrace whatever that comes its way. It is no easy task, especially for someone like Father Paulus, who has around 6,000 missionaries under his leadership in 81 countries.
As Pope Francis repeatedly says, our way is the way of non-violence. Non-violence, not using the same weapon to answer to the weapon, but non-violence, non-violence communication. So not using, also starting from the verbal communication already, not being violent in our words, in our expressions. And surely the last step is not being violent in using the weapons to kill each other, to also to kill other groups, other people from other religions. So this non-violent approach is, I think, what we learn from Jesus, from the Gospel, and that is the message we have to give to the world today. It's not always easy to be non-violent amidst the challenges you are facing, but still being non-violent, promoting non-violence is still the way we have to follow, and that means to pave the way of dialogue. And in our congregation, we are promoting what we call prophetic dialogue. Prophetic dialogue means we enter into the dialogue with our standpoint, we come from our faith. Dialogue doesn't mean that we give of our conviction, but with our conviction, with our system of belief, values, we enter into the dialogue, we enrich others, we let ourselves be enriched by others, and that is the way. Otherwise, we only contribute to that spiral of violence, never ending, and those who suffer are always the same. That is the weakest group in the society, among the people.
Through God's grace and in the example of Jesus Christ, SVD must strive on, reaching out to the furthest ends of the world, evangelizing and promoting holistic human development.
Holy Spirit, you remember the first SVD mission.